Have you ever caught yourself wondering, is getting remarried at this age really the right move? Maybe you found companionship again, or you're just thinking about opening your heart once more. But let's be real. Remarriage after 60 isn't the same as it was in your 20s or 30s. It comes with a whole new set of emotions, responsibilities, and realities that many people don't talk about until they're already in too deep. Whether you're divorced, widowed, or have been flying solo for a while, what you decide now can shape the rest of your life, your finances, your family dynamics, even your health and peace of mind. In this video, we're diving into 5 powerful truths you need to know before saying, I do again. These aren't your typical relationship tips. They're the kind of insights that could save you from regret, protect what you've built, and help you make a choice that truly aligns with the life you want. Too many people jump into remarriage thinking love alone will fix everything. But love, while beautiful, is just one piece of the puzzle. Knowledge is power, especially at this stage of life. So here's my challenge for you. Don't just hope things will work out this time. Stay with me to the end, take in each truth, and ask yourself the honest questions. Your future deserves that clarity, and so do you. Ready to take a thoughtful step toward what could be a joyful new chapter? Let's begin. Number 1, your financial landscape looks very different after 60. When you're over 60 and considering remarriage, love may still feel exciting, but it comes with real financial consequences that can't be ignored. At this stage of life, it's not just about shared dreams, it's also about merging assets, obligations, and long-term goals. What was once a romantic decision in your youth now carries significant weight for your financial security. For many, the most unexpected change is how remarriage can impact Social Security benefits. If you're receiving payments based on a previous spouse's earnings, whether through divorce or widowhood, those benefits may stop once you remarry. That income, which may have helped support your lifestyle or filled retirement gaps, could vanish overnight. Pensions and survivor benefits also come with fine print. Some benefits, especially from government or military service, are structured in a way that remarriage disqualifies the recipient from continuing to receive them. These are the kinds of details that can easily slip through the cracks if you're not informed before saying, I do. Then there's the matter of estate planning. No matter how separate you believe your finances are, marriage changes your legal and financial standing. In many places, your new spouse automatically becomes entitled to a portion of your estate, even if your will says otherwise. This can cause complications, especially when children from previous relationships are involved. Consider the case of Margaret, a 68-year-old retired teacher. After losing her husband, she met someone new and remarried without much thought to legalities, trusting that her original estate plan would stand. Years later, when Margaret unexpectedly passed away, her children learned that her new husband was entitled to half of her home and a significant portion of her savings. Her will hadn't been updated since the remarriage, and the court followed the default spousal inheritance laws. The result was a painful family dispute and a long probate battle that strained relationships and delayed closure. Beyond legal and inheritance issues, there's also the matter of aligning financial habits and expectations. At this age, individuals tend to have established routines and values around money. If one partner is frugal and the other enjoys spontaneous spending, it can lead to stress and even conflict. That's why honest conversations about money, debts, investments, retirement plans, and lifestyle expectations are not just important, they're essential. In the end, this is about protecting your peace of mind. Take the time to consult a financial advisor or estate planner. Ask the hard questions. Review your beneficiary documents, your will, and your budget. It's not unromantic, it's responsible. Because love deserves a foundation that's built not only on emotion, but also on understanding and preparedness. Number 2, blending lives means blending histories. Remarrying later in life isn't just about finding companionship, it's about merging entire worlds. At this stage, both partners bring a lifetime of experiences, family ties, and emotional bonds. And while starting over can be beautiful, it also comes with layers of complexity that many don't anticipate until they're in the middle of it. Unlike younger couples starting from a clean slate, Older adults usually have deeply rooted relationships with adult children, grandchildren, former in-laws, and longtime friends. These connections, while cherished, can make remarriage more emotionally charged than expected. One of the most delicate parts of this transition involves how adult children respond. Even when they support your happiness, they may feel a mix of loyalty, confusion, or fear. They might wonder, is this new person trying to replace our other parent? Or, what does this mean for our family traditions or inheritance? These questions aren't always spoken out loud, but they often linger beneath the surface. Grandchildren can also feel the shift. If they've known you as a single grandparent for years, introducing a new partner can feel like a disruption in their sense of stability. And just like adults, children process change in different ways, some with curiosity, others with resistance. It's not just your family that needs adjusting. Your new spouse has their own set of relationships and family culture. Finding ways to merge holiday traditions, birthday celebrations, or even simple routines can take more time and grace than anticipated. This isn't a sign of failure. It's simply the reality of combining two full lives. Let's take the story of James, a 70-year-old widower who fell in love again after many years alone. He was thrilled about his second chance at love, but didn't expect the resistance from his two daughters, who feared they were losing their connection with him. It wasn't until James took the time to sit down with them, explaining his feelings, reassuring them about their place in his life, and including them in important decisions, that the tension began to ease. It wasn't a quick fix, but it paved the way for mutual understanding and respect. Imagine two large trees, each with deep roots that have grown in different directions for decades. When those trees grow close enough to intertwine, their branches may tangle and their roots may even compete for space. But with enough care, pruning, and time, the trees can grow side by side, stronger together, offering shade and shelter for all the smaller plants around them. That's what blending families is like. It requires intentional care, compromise, and mutual respect. One crucial concern in these situations is legacy. Families may worry that remarriage will alter a will, redistribute savings, or shift property ownership. These worries aren't always rooted in selfishness. They're often driven by a desire to preserve a parent's original intentions. That's why transparency around estate planning is so important. Having a clear legal plan and discussing it openly can eliminate confusion and prevent conflict before it starts. Ultimately, love later in life should be celebrated, not complicated by miscommunication. If you're planning to remarry, give your family the space to express their feelings. Create an open dialogue. Be patient, be present, and be prepared to reassure your loved ones that while your life is growing, your love for them remains strong. Remember, marriage at this stage isn't just about saying I do. It's about building a bridge between past and future, honoring what came before while making room for what's next. With honesty and compassion, your new chapter can be one of harmony, healing, and deeper connection for everyone involved. Number 3, emotional needs shift in later life relationships. Entering into a relationship after the age of 60 is a much different journey than when you were younger. Early in life, marriage often centered around building a shared future, raising children, buying a home, or climbing the career ladder. In contrast, later in life relationships are more about emotional companionship, shared values, and mutual respect than about starting fresh. By this stage, most individuals have developed a well-defined sense of self. Daily habits, living arrangements, hobbies, and routines are already in place. This creates a unique situation. Two complete, independent lives coming together, not to complete each other, but to enrich one another. With that independence comes new emotional dynamics. You may be used to making decisions on your own or having control over your personal space. When another person steps into that rhythm with their own set of preferences and routines, adjustments are inevitable. While these changes can be fulfilling, they also require intentional communication and flexibility. Unlike younger couples who often grow together through shared milestones, older partners may need to relearn what it means to compromise. Questions like, how much time should we spend together? How do we balance closeness and solitude? Or how do we handle differences without trying to change each other? Become central to the relationship. Take Elaine, a 69-year-old woman who had lived alone for more than a decade before meeting her current partner. She loved her solitude and cherished her quiet mornings with coffee and books. Her new husband, on the other hand, enjoyed a bustling morning routine filled with chatter and music. It took patience and mutual understanding for them to find a middle ground, a way to share mornings without sacrificing the peace or the joy they each valued. Emotional expectations are also shaped by past relationships. Whether you've lost a spouse or experienced a divorce, those experiences leave emotional imprints. They may affect how you express affection, how quickly you trust, or how you interpret certain behaviors. A new partner may not replace those memories, but they can help you create new ones, if both of you remain emotionally open and sensitive to one another's history. It's important to understand that emotional readiness matters just as much as romantic interest. Are you prepared to share your life while still honoring your personal freedom? Do you feel comfortable setting boundaries while building a deep emotional connection? These are questions that can determine whether the relationship flourishes or flounders. Another consideration is the different ways people cope with vulnerability at this stage in life. Emotional safety becomes more important than ever, especially after experiencing the pain of loss or betrayal. Trust may take longer to build, and small misunderstandings can carry more weight if not addressed kindly and promptly. That's why cultivating empathy, patience, and gentle communication can make all the difference. Love later in life is not about grand gestures. It's about the small, steady moments of togetherness that bring comfort and joy. When both partners come with open hearts and realistic expectations, a late-in-life marriage can be one of the most emotionally rewarding experiences of all. Number 4, legal considerations matter more than you think. Imagine this. You've found love again later in life, someone who truly understands you and brings joy to your days. Everything feels right emotionally. But what many overlook is that marriage isn't just a heartfelt union, it's also a legal contract, one that can carry major implications when you're in your 60s or beyond. At this stage, you likely have decades worth of assets, savings, family responsibilities, and established plans. Unlike marrying young, where everything is built together from scratch, remarriage later in life requires carefully navigating legal territory to ensure that love doesn't unintentionally override long-standing commitments. One of the most common issues is estate planning. Without revisiting your will or establishing a trust, your new spouse may legally inherit assets you originally intended for your children, grandchildren, or other loved ones. Many are surprised to learn that the law doesn't always reflect personal intentions unless they're formally documented. Another critical factor is healthcare decisions. In the event of serious illness or incapacity, your spouse is generally given the legal right to make decisions on your behalf, whether or not they understand your wishes better than your children or longtime caregivers. To avoid confusion or conflict, setting up an advance healthcare directive or power of attorney is a smart move. Prenuptial agreements, often viewed as unnecessary or unromantic, can actually help protect both parties. These documents spell out how finances, property, and other assets will be handled in the marriage, ensuring clarity and preventing future disputes. It's not about anticipating divorce. It's about setting expectations and respecting what each person brings to the relationship. Consider Eleanor, a 67-year-old widow who had carefully planned to leave her home and savings to her 2 children. When she met a kind-hearted man and decided to remarry, she quickly realized her original will would no longer guarantee that her wishes were honored. With the help of a family lawyer, she and her fiancé agreed on a prenuptial agreement and updated their estate plans, preserving peace of mind for everyone involved. Legal considerations also extend to retirement benefits, life insurance, tax implications, and Social Security entitlements. In some cases, remarriage can affect eligibility for government or pension benefits tied to a former spouse. Without proper guidance, you might unknowingly lose support that you'd otherwise be entitled to. Then there's the emotional layer. Addressing legal matters doesn't take away from the romance. It strengthens the relationship by fostering honesty, transparency, and mutual respect. You're not just protecting your future, you're also preserving family harmony by ensuring everyone understands your intentions. Ask yourself, Are your legal documents up to date? Have you discussed inheritance, healthcare, and financial responsibilities with your new partner? Do your children know your wishes, and have you clearly stated them in writing? These are not just legal questions. They are acts of love that protect both your legacy and your loved ones. In short, legal planning isn't a roadblock to love, it's a foundation for it. Taking time to meet with a legal professional, update important documents, and have honest conversations can turn potential challenges into clear, manageable steps. And that in itself is one of the most loving things you can do for your new partner and your family. Number 5, how your vision of happiness changes over time. As we age, our idea of what it means to be happy evolves dramatically. When we were younger, happiness might have meant building a family, chasing careers, or achieving milestones together. Marriage was often about creating a future from scratch, filled with excitement, challenges, and shared dreams. But after 60, happiness tends to become less about constructing something new and more about preserving what brings peace and joy. It's about finding contentment in everyday moments, maintaining independence, and cherishing companionship without losing yourself. Before entering a new marriage, it's important to reflect honestly. What does happiness truly look like for me at this stage? Many people believe that remarriage will automatically bring joy, but the reality is more nuanced. Joy in later life often depends on emotional balance, mutual respect, and maintaining personal freedom. For example, consider Ruth, who at 68 remarried a longtime friend. She valued her quiet mornings spent painting and her weekly book club gatherings. Her new husband, however, was a social butterfly who loved hosting lively dinners and weekend trips. Despite their affection, Ruth struggled to adapt to his fast-paced lifestyle, often feeling worn out and disconnected from her own passions. They eventually realized that happiness didn't mean giving up their individuality, but finding ways to support each other's needs. Ruth learned to set boundaries around her alone time, and her husband made space for quieter weekends. This balance helped their marriage flourish without either feeling they had sacrificed their identity. Another important aspect of happiness at this age is recognizing that it often comes from within rather than from external sources. Remarriage shouldn't be seen as the solution to loneliness or sadness. True happiness grows from self-acceptance and inner peace, which then enrich relationships rather than depending on them. It's also vital to evaluate how much compromise you're willing to make. Your routines, hobbies, and preferences have been cultivated over many years. Will you feel fulfilled adjusting these to accommodate your partner, or will it cause frustration? Sometimes maintaining separate spaces or interests within a relationship can be the key to lasting happiness. Ask yourself, do I want a partner who joins me in every activity, or someone who complements my lifestyle while honoring my independence? Would I be happier sharing a home or having a committed relationship where we live separately? The answers to these questions help ensure that your next chapter is joyful and authentic. Remember, happiness at this stage isn't about fitting an ideal. It's about crafting a life that feels right for you. Your decisions, including remarriage, should add to the richness of your life, not complicate or diminish it. As we close out this video, take a moment to reflect on everything we've explored. Remarrying after 60 can be a beautiful chapter, but it's also a decision layered with important considerations many don't think about until they're already deep in it. From navigating family relationships and managing finances to understanding emotional needs, legal matters, and what happiness truly means for you now, each of these aspects deserves thoughtful attention before you commit. Marriage later in life isn't about following old scripts. It's about choosing what genuinely supports your well-being and joy. For some, remarrying brings renewed companionship and fulfillment. For others, maintaining independence or exploring different types of relationships feels more authentic. Whatever path you take, make sure it resonates with your values, lifestyle, and long-term happiness. If this video sparked new insights, I encourage you to pause, have open conversations with your loved ones, and seek expert advice when needed. Most importantly, listen to your heart and mind. There's no need to rush. This is your time to embrace what truly makes you happy, not what anyone else expects. Thanks so much for watching. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below about what stood out to you and how you'll apply it. Your feedback inspires us to keep creating content that matters. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time.